So here we're talking about Pashat Chukat, and the beginning is very interesting part. The Zohar, in this section, it has like a couple of parts. One is a Peshat, one is Sod. Peshat is basically, it gives us like a plain meaning of what Zohar says, and then here we also has like a Kitab Rashi. Kitab Rashi it does explain the Zohar more in depth episode. So we're going to read, see what the Zohar says. So he says, "Vaydaber Hashem Moshe v'Aaron lemor zot chukat HaTorah shetzivah Hashem lemor." Right? The passage says that this is the zot chukat HaTorah. So that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded. Rabbi Yossi Patach. Rabbi Yossi start the discussion, right? וזאת התורה ששם משה לפני בני ישראל, לכמון לפרש מה בין זאת חוקת תורה לבין בזאת התורה. So right now the question comes up here, we have a concept of HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't write any word in vain. Everything in Torah is written, there's a special, he puts it in a special format. And here Rabbi Yossi is questioning this verse. Why sometimes in this here it says Vezot HaTorah, right? And then elsewhere it says Zot Chukat HaTorah. There's like a difference. So he wants to clarify why one place it says Zot HaTorah, the other place it says Zot Chukat HaTorah, right? Tachazeh. And then we see already there's a according to this is a special concept we should know. There's something called Tachazeh, Tashma. So I learned this a long time ago. Gemara, always when you want to learn Gemara, says Tashma, can't hear. And then in Zohar, wherever you see the statement, it doesn't say Tashma, it says Tachazeh. Why? Tachazeh can't see. And seeing is much more stronger, easier for a person to understand than hearing. And we have a concept, they're saying in Persia that if you see, it's much more clear than hear. So that's why with Zohar you see, that's why they say a person should Zohar, because when with Zohar, your mind becomes clear and you understand the concept more in depth. So that's why in Zohar you always see Tachazeh. And in Gemara you see always say Tashma. So that's what he said. Tachazeh, come and see. Milon Doraito Kadishin Inu. That all the word of Torah is Kedoshim, right? And now we have like a 4 olamot that we discussed before. We have Malchut, Beria, Yesira, Asiya. So here it says this Torah that we are talking about, that the Kedoshim are from the side of Olam Beria. Olam Beria, the second word from the top. Ida in Inun. These are they're very high. You see high spiritually, but they are where they're from this Olam Yesira. Metiqin Inun, and they are sweet in the side of Olam Asiya. So we have like three different levels of three levels in here. One is Kedusha, they're Kadosh, Olam Beria, they are Elyon, side is Beria, and they are Metukim, and they are sweet, Olam Asiya. That's the Torah is so has different aspects in different spiritual worlds. So we have a pasuk that we have in the Tehillim that they are beloved more than Zahav, more than regular gold, and Pas is a better, higher grade of gold, right? I think it's 24 carat. And they are what? They are more sweet than the honey. So Zohar explaining it, the different aspects of it in those olamot. One is Elyon, Olam Beria. The other one is and the other one is Kadosh Elyon, and then also Olam Beria, Kadosh Elyon Misad Berisira, and Matok Misad Asiya. נחמדי בזה מפי הזברת בתרגום מפורש, לכן, man דאשתדל באורייתא. So down here is coming and telling you how important is a person learning Torah. If a person learns Torah, what happens? If somebody that learns Torah, נחשב לו כאם חיים כל יום על תורה דסינא וקבל באורייתא. That person, when he learns Torah, of course, talking about Lishma, with no ulterior motives, right? Then it's as if he was there right now, is today, right now, is rejuvenates or renews the day, as if the person was right now, he's back in the man Har Sinai, the time that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave the Torah. If a person has that kind of mindset, when he learns Torah that way, it's become that important. כאילו הוא עומד על סיני, כל יום על סיני, הוא מקבל את התורה, and he's learning and he's accepting the Torah right now. So every day a person learns it that day, that's how it is. כי דברי בעסקי האדם בתורה אינם נותנים לו בו עבודות שנכבשה בקדושה. So when somebody learns Torah, right, it doesn't give the opportunity to the person to do Avera. Right? And it doesn't make him weakened spiritually. So that's how. אפילו היום, אחרי כמה אלפים שונים מתן תורה, הוא בקדושתו כאילו היום ניתנה על הר סיני. And then also, I stand corrected here, when a person learns, right, when a person learns Torah, even though we are not spiritual, I mean we are, but we are still, we are a body, and we are like more connected to the earthly world. Despite that, whatever learning we do, right, it doesn't have any effect on the holiness of the Torah. Which means the Torah doesn't become Gashmiut. It stays up in its own level. So that's what it is. how יכתיב, היום הזה נהיית לעם. פירוש בכל יום יהיה בעיניך כאילו היום באת עמו בברית. So it's as if today a person came to the Brit, the covenant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which means came to accept Torah. והחוכמוה, חבריה והחכמים, they discussed ושואלו מה שכתוב היום הזה נהיר לעם, כי אותו היום ניתנו תורה לישראל, אלא אותו יום סוף 40 שהיה, אלא עמדך שחייבות תורה לימודיך בכל יום ביום כיום שדון במהר סיני. So he says, he brings Gemara Berachot, right? The daf side of the bed, some of the bed, he says, this pasuk, when he says that they have learned to, it says, Hayom Hazeh Nihita Na'am, that today you become nation. So Gemara there, he asks, what are you talking about? Hayom Hazeh, right? This is the end of the 40 years. So if it's the end of the 40 years, why, he said Hayom Hazeh Nihita Na'am. This today you became a nation. So the Gemara asks over there, what do you mean you became a nation that day? This is 40 years afterward. So he said, it's because you learn Torah and with that kind of sincerity, right? It's as if today you got it and you became a nation. That's why the pasuk says. And so if you look at Gemara, you see it gives more how we say. Mahbub knows it for the Gemara. If you learn Gemara over there, you see this is the question over there. So it's basically substantiating what the Zohar says. That when you learn Torah, right, and if you do it sincerely, it's as if you learn it today, and it's brings the substantiation from where on Gemara Berachot. Okay, that's what it says. So, HaTorah חוזר לדברי שמעלה, כתיב, Hacha Katukan Zut Chukat. So now it goes back to the question over there. He says over there Zut Chukat Torah with Zut HaTorah. So there's a difference of expression of the words in the formatting in the Torah. One says the question comes back. It says one says Zut Chukat Torah, and one says Zut HaTorah. right? So why they puts it like this? ולא כתוב חוקת, why doesn't it say חוקת, right? why is it זאת התורה? וגם יש תוספת עוד וו של וזאת, and why there's a vav, what we call vav chibur. Whenever we say vav, it's connecting something. So you say why you have vav over there? B'shul ma ben hay lehay. What's the difference? That there's a different format of expressing this idea of Torah. One place it says zot HaTorah, the other place says zot Chukat HaTorah. So you see, this sounds like it's same, but it's a different format. So it's saying Meshir Ela rather ilahu, but there's a sod elyon, there's a special sod in it, and which is going to explain right now. We learn here, Zot HaTorah le'achza'a kula beichud achad, le'ar'ot shezun shenehem hem beichud achad. So there's a concept we talked about before, that in Olamot Shel Elyon, there are different sefirot. And all the sefirot, they have a Zohar and a Kavah. It has a male and female part of it, and I remember when I started learning Zohar many years ago, I asked Rabbi Tani, how do we understand this Sefirot in Shemayim? So he said, always think of them as a very big neshama, right? So like we have the Zera and Pin, the Malchut, they're like a very big neshamot that are over there, or Ein Sof it comes to them. Or Ein Sof is the holiness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to his light, comes and dwell in them. Okay? So in order for us to get the maximum baracha from Shemayim, we always want to make sure that in Shemayim they are together. That's the concept. And the way they get together, right, is when the Klal Yisrael, especially Klal Yisrael, they learn Torah and do Teshuvah, and they perform all the acts according to what is supposed to be. Then there is a complete unification between those neshamot. One is called Zerampin, one is Malchut. Okay? Now, once you understand this, and we have this as an introduction, now here this makes sense. Now he says, what? He says, why he says Zod, right? This is what we learn. Bezod HaTorah, Lachza'a Kula B'Yachbuda. To show us that the Zerampin and the Malchut, they have a complete unification. They're together. That's what it says. So he says when you have Vezod, right? That's referring to that, right? Kizod hi Malchut. So according to there's what we call kinui. Kinui means title, right? Like when you want to refer to something. So Zod, whenever you hear an episode, whenever it says Zod, it always refers to Malchut. Zod HaTorah, when we say, whenever you hear Zod, that's a kinui. You know it's kinui, right? The kinui is like a title, like that. What is it?
Nickname.
Nickname, okay. The nickname for what? For Malchut, okay? And so he said, Kizot hi Malchut, ve'HaTorah hi Tiferet. And when he says Torah is Tiferet, Tiferet is the same as here we are referring to Zerampin. So he says Zot HaTorah. Zod is nickname for the Malchut, but Torah referring to Zerampin. Okay? ולכללה כנסת ישראל בראשו ברוך הוא, לכלול את כנסת ישראל שהוא המלכות עם הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא זה. That it includes מלכות הקדוש ברוך הוא. when you say להשתכחה כולו אחד, שימצא הכל אחד, דהיינו להורות על אחדות וגמורה, בגלל כך לכן כתוב בזו התורה שזאת עם תורה הם באחדות. So when they say Zot HaTorah, means they have to be achdut. Achdut means they are unified, right? And that's what we want. We want always to be together, because when they are always together in Shemayim, we get the maximum barakah that we need to get, and it's not just for us, but also for the whole world. That's why the Gemara, when it says that if the Goyim knew that the Yerushalayim is a makor of bracha and protects the whole world, right? The Goyim, they will bring legions of armies, protect the whole Yerushalayim, that it would not get destroyed. So why is that? Because at that time, the Rampir Malchut were done in the Beit HaMikdash. So when they were getting the bracha, the Jewish people were getting it, then the tamsid is the leftover of the bracha, it would be going to the Goyim, to the other nations, and it was so much that they were all prosperous. So that's the concept, because when they were here, there was always the achdut. And then that's why we want to have Beit HaMikdash back. One of the reasons is we want to have the Rampir Malchut be here, down here. They will be stationed in this world. When they are stationed in this world, we get the maximum bracha. And that's why you hear like there was so much miracles were happening in Pika. What we learned that there was so much brachot with nisim were happening. There was always korban, but never a pregnant woman had a miscarriage. There was no fly. When there was so many, they were slaughtering. When the people were praying together, they would do a hishtachaviyah. There was such a small place, miraculously they were able all to prostrate to Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Why was that? Because the Rabbim were here. They were here in this world, and that's why there was all these miracles were happening continuously over there, right?
Wow.
That was the concept. So now the question is asking, if we have Zot and we have Torah, right? We have Zot and then we have Torah. So why do I need the letter Vav here, right? That's the question he's going to ask. Shezot in Torah him hachdut v'shoel. Am I tosefet Vav? Why do I need to have a Vav? למה יש תוספת Vav במידת זאת? בשביל אלא ידמר להחזאה דכל אחד בלא פעולה. להראות שכל אחד בלא פעילות, דהיינו שתפארת שהוא עוד Vav, הוא גם נכלל עם מלכות, גם כמו שקראנו את מלכות עם התפארת בבית מידות וזאת התורה. So it's going to show you that there is no separation. They're like together, intertwined. I think that's the word. I think they're intertwined together. When the Hainu Shetif Eshu Vav, which is Zampin, who he's also in the Malchut. Not only Malchut is the Zampin, but also Vav also somehow is unified in its by itself to the Malchut. So that means that's why they have the Vav Chibur here. That it is in the Malchut. כמו שקראנו את המלכות, להם תפארת במילות זו תורה. Now, so this before, הרי זאת כאן להורות כלל ופרט כחדה. Now we have a כלל ופרט, right? This we have it in the one of the כללים. Now here it talks about episode. What does כלל ופרט means? כי המלכות נראית כלל. So this is explained it more deep. This is the deep. I hope you're okay with this. Okay? Yeah?
Yes.
So Malchut Nirat Kalal. Malchut is considered or is called Kalal. So we have Kalal Uparat. So the nickname, that's a good word that you told me. The nickname for Malchut also is called Kalal. Because if you look, there are many names in the Torah or also of Torah that it is referring to Malchut. We said one was Zot, right? But this other one, Kelal Uparat, Kelal referring to the Malchut, referring Sheba, Dichtalim, Hariyonim, Technonim. So why is it Kelal is Malchut? It gives the explanation. Kelal means inclusive. One is inclusive. So we said, what's inclusive? It has everything it's connecting up and down. Because the lowest spiritual sephira that we have in the world of the Shamayim is Malchut, right? So that's why when we pray to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, right, our tefillah, all of our tefillah gets grouped, it's taken up to Shamayim, right? There's a malach called Malach Matat. The Malach Matat is one of the malachim that we have, and this malach takes all our neshamot, all the tefillot up to Shamayim, and then we would take it to the Olam Malchut, and from there it goes higher. So this tefillah, all of them go there. So it says.
Sorry, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if one is allowed to say, once you mentioned the name of a malach, if one could say the malach Lilith at night, one should not say it, right?
It doesn't.
Because that is the destructive power.
Okay, we have a samech mem. So they said you're not supposed to name it. Samech mem is referring to the angel of Yisahara, which is Malach Mamovet.
So we say instead samech mem. But this name that I said, we should not say it at all.
They say Lail.
Only Lail, we should not say it?
They refer to Lail. You don't say the whole name. You don't say the whole name. Okay, and the second name is the female counterpart of Samech Mem. It's a malach. So the Zohar in the beginning of the Bereshit, it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Every angel or every
being has a
female part. So when created Samech Mem, right, Malach Mavet, which in the beginning was very holy, by the way, it was extremely holy. They say it had eight wings. And then the HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought, which is higher than the average malach.
Average malach is 6.
6, yeah. So I think he had 8.
And the highest is 12.
So maybe he had 12, because that's all I just was thinking. So he had the highest, and then he brought it down. It's been a long time I haven't like this. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu made his wings less, and then because he knew that Lail was his counterpart, if they would start having offspring, they would become multiplied, and they would be destroyed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what did you do? Because the Samech Mem becomes saris, they wouldn't be able to reproduce. So Lail, what it does, it goes like to the people's wherever they are, and causes them to have what we call become Balkari. Right, so that's why
at night.
That's why they say a person goes to sleep, if he's alone, he should have a light on. Sometimes they say he should have some kind of a knife or something, so it doesn't get, for women, if a woman is alone, has to be very careful, right? They have to be, like a husband goes away, like Rabbi Tai one time told us, husband goes away, right? The wife should have something by her bed, like something like a knife or something, so they don't get disturbed by night. Because what it does, it goes straight to bother. But
the Lail is female.
Female.
Why should bother? Bothers the female too.
Yeah, bothers. I don't know how does it, but for men,
babies too.
Huh? Babies too.
Babies also.
Yeah. Yeah. The Zohar talks about that too. So it says that's why it's very important to have mezuzah. The place has to be very clean. Should be very nice. Shema, person should have machshavot tehorot, so it's not get very carried. And this other extra protection is basically, I know Harav said one time to me, a man for women. For men, this is very obvious. You have to have a light on, for sure, and then get Shema, and then also have machshavot tehorot. For women, they say should have some kind of like a knife or something, so they don't get close to the women at night when they do that way.
That's in addition to light?
Yeah, for women.
Wait, is a candle or just a light?
Any candle, any light. So for something they don't want to be on it.
So if in one's home there are kids there, but the mother is alone in the room, she needs.
She's okay.
She's okay.
So
what we mean is.
But the husband, if the husband is not there,
if the husband is not there,
it's not like.
but there are kids in their rooms.
In her room, in her room, that's okay. But if they're not in her room, you should have it.
If the kids are not in her room, you mean?
Yeah,
Then she needs to have it.
yeah.
But
You could never
even though
check
that
the-
the kids are in the other rooms.
You could never check the Rabbanat was
Zohar.
right. Because usually you have to have somebody with you, and the husband. There's another thing that is fascinating since you brought it up. If you're
Yes.
okay, I can tell you.
Sure.
So it says in Gemara says the person should, when he goes out in the journey, right, he should have discussed the HaTorah with the Talmidei Chachamim. Why? By doing that, Mazikim don't bother the person. So you should have like discussion, Torah discussion. There is another concept is if you have your wife with you, okay? So the wife, if you have your wife with you, even if she doesn't say anything with you, she sits in the back, in the back seat, and if there's no discussion for the Torah, by her being there in the car with the journey, is a shemira for the husband.
Of course.
But usually they say Torah, right? Learning Torah is very important. That's why so they said if you are with your wife, she has that spiritual benefit for the husband. So I just want to just bring it up. Okay? So going back here, yeah? Yeah. So it says, Harezot bon ha'norot keloplanot ke'adon ki hamanchun yot kanal lefi shaban nichladim helionot taknis. So that's why it says kanal. Why it says kanal? Because it includes Elyonim, which is this Elyonim, and Tachtonim, this word, with Tiferet Nikla Prat. And Tiferet here is referring to Zerampim. It's considered Prat, right? Lefi Shebod Nifratim Habav Basabod. And in there, why is it Prat? Because Prat means details, right? One of the meaning of Prat means to itemize or to detail. So it says here, there is in the Sefirot, there are 6, they call it Vav Kesavot. Vav Kesavot means 6 important parts of a Sefirot. Every Sefirot has 10 Sefirot in it, which is Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Nes, Achot, Yesod, Umalchut. There are 10. The first 3 ones, we call them Gimel Rishonim, right? And the last 7 part of the Sefirah, we call it Zayin Tachtonim. Gimel Rishonim, no. There is one concept called Vav Kesavot. Vav Kesavot is just the 6 ones in the bottom, not the 7th one. So you have Zayin Tachtonim, right? Zayin Tachtonim has 7 lower spiritual Sefirot on that Sefirah, right? And the 6 of them, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Achot, Yesod, those are the main part. So it says, Tiferet is detailed, sometimes becomes detailed, Prat. What is Prat? It has Vav Kesavot in it. If on it, Kelal means it has, Kelal refers to Malchut. Malchut includes Shamayim, the Elyonim, and Tachtonim, right? Prat is something that is itemized or details, right? What is detailing? Every part of the Sefirah, the main part, we call it Vav Kesavot, the 6 main part, which is Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Nes, Achot, Yesod, but it's not including Malchut. So it's called Vav Kesavot, it's called Prat. Yeah? Okay? והם תמיד יחד, כי אין בכלל אלא מן הפרט. So they are always together, the Vav Kesavot. They are together, the 6 ones. ובפרט אלא ממשיך כלל, לכן הם נכללים יחד זה וזה וזה וזה. So they are inclusive of each other, right? Now, דחה ונוקבה שהם זון, when I say דחה ונוקבה, right, so now we're having all this background, it's very easy to understand the rest of it. Decha v'nukva, when it says Zachar v'nekava, now we understand it's talking about what? Zerampin u'malchut, right? U'b'inkach